Hey everyone, we are doing a solo stream. Um, Mike is gone for the night, so it's just me. And we're gonna work on our Minecraft world. So, kind of my idea is, uh, first off, it's gonna be a shorter stream, so it's not, you know, we're not gonna be going too buck wild, but let's see. Try something real quick. Have a oh, we're in- stop time. Stop. So, alright, this one is respiration 1 on this helmet. I can figure out how to. I'd really, really like to be able to breathe underwater. It looks like it's significantly slower, at least, which is good. Right, our maps. I think I remember right. What's that? There we go. Want to say. If I make a blank map, um, this bad boy. Okay, let's see. Base paper. Right, that's how you do it. We'll do that. 2, 3. Okay, so this is not a locator. I need to make a compass for that. I do that now. Post map making? Yes, cool. Oh shit, I did that wrong. I need to that there. Need to clear too. Because I done screwed up and it's gonna show the same thing that this one does. You make a compass. Uh, why is it not? No. Uh, I'm just gonna rename this to 3. I'm talking to myself. Roland, I will change that. Didn't realize Twitch it still had me on the Train Sim World thing. Twitch it still had me on the user. Oh, manager. There we go. Now it's right. Also, I just dropped my controller. Yes, I play Minecraft on PC with an Xbox controller because it's easy. So I need. I need to look at the map. off into the great blue yonder. Of course it's where would I have gone from? Clearly. There's the other skeleton. This one. One of these. There was a reasoning for being. Oh, yeah, this. I remember. Did I put a. Somebody did. I don't think it was me. So, hope. A lot of gold. Hope is to find some goodies in these train cars. Have to get ready for our eventual trip to the end. This is way more expensive than I remember them being. Now, see, that's just inconvenient. That one not enough to have to put right on top of it. Spoders are coming after me. I've apparently explored all this area before, which is cool. So now I can take 3-0 back. Hopefully. Back to the cartography table. Those are some goodies. Let's see. I could have sworn there was more than this one. Activator rail. Let's see, what don't I? Dummy flash we can get rid of. It's the bow we can get rid of. So I've gotten that one over there and that one. If I can quick spot another one, I'll pick it up. But... Space. Oh. All right, let's see. I am looking for diamond because we some of those. Oh, hello, buddy. But, there we go. Nothing there, a lot of iron. I know we were running not short, but kind of a lot of the like basic resources we were short on. Like we didn't have a great source of food. I mean, we have the farm, but it's like carrots and beetroots. You know, we need potatoes and way more wheat like that allow us to kind of generate the good foods. Because if we want to, you know, if we want to take on the end, we need a solid food source so that we regen health. I'll just be stuck in the end with, you know, nothing to get home. Oh, I also need to make books. That's what our mission was a couple weeks ago. Forget exactly how many diamonds. I remember it wasn't like a abnormal amount. It was doable. And this is where having Mike makes just life so much easier. Because one of us would be out mining, the other could be somewhat close to base and tell us what. really should. I don't think. More so because I have actually given me quite a lot of stuff. And really, and I have a mission back at the house, which is make books. Also, kind of have no idea where I am. Gotta remember the torch code. Since we're heading up, we want to put them left. Because then when we're heading down, we follow them on the right. I mean, it's a fairly simple system, but its results are pretty astounding. In terms of like, as long as you follow the torch code, you're not gonna get lost. I mean, you'll eventually get like, you know, potentially turned around and stuff, but you know, as long as you like, okay, like for instance here, okay, where do I go? Well, find their torches. Fellows. Might be in an interesting spot. So, let's see. Or I think it was that block. Got the diamond. Let's see. Torches, iron. That. Alright. 3 tells us we need to kind of a northernly direction. I want to say, like, the last time we were playing and I was running around, I think I was up on top of the step here in those trees. So I need to find my way, I guess, back up. Be a real stupid idea, but... Nothing? Okay. That's weird. Alright, let's see if we can find where I would have come down, I guess. I don't really know where to look. I mean, they're all smooth walls. I mean, I'm already off the map. Granted, it was a single map. It's not like a massive section like the other one that I... Hey, we got Ellie. Ow. 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 Get out of their range. It's a spider. Spiders are okay. Spiders you can deal with. Spiders annoying, absolutely, but it's doable. Oh, this is more of the mine shaft. That's pretty cool. Pretty big mine shaft area. I'm really surprised though that we don't have one near us. Only because it's a, I mean, I would imagine, right, it's a biome thing. And I mean, we're in the same biome as those. In terms of where the base is. Oh, which... What's me with that shit? I'm just gonna pop these spawners. Make my life a lot easier. Alright, rail. Activator, some more torches, some iron. Right, spider eyes, flesh. Lapis as well, because we're gonna need it for enchantments. Let's see. Are there any other mine carts that we can quickly see? I go with I could have gotten rid of the orange terracottas. we need a lot of things, but what we really need to find is a village. So that we can either trade with the villagers to get supplies, or we just steal supplies. I think I've been check. Yeah, I've been here. Yeah, because there's home. So what we will do is turn home, make the books that we need, because that's so the books are obviously the most the most crucial part for the upgraded crafting station or upgraded enchanting table. Because without the books, you can't. You can only go to level 5, maybe. And with the full thing of books, you can do 30. What we're looking for, hopefully, is 30s. Excuse me. Some 30s that let us survive a little bit better or get us more powerful swords and things like that. Because when we go to fight the Ender Dragon, like ideally we have like feather falling and sharpness and I don't know what some of the bow enchantments are, but some of the bow enchantments, and then take down the Ender Dragon with ease. My worry is that we're in such a stalemate right now with progression in terms of kind of stuck until we really would need like a full day getting enders, because we need at least 12 of the eyes so that we can power up a full portal, because you can't be guaranteed that there's going to be any already in there, so we need to make absolutely sure we have enough on standby to power it if there's nothing. Now, if we get burned out, I will absolutely go in. I think I have the option. I am the server manager. I'll just turn on creative for both of us and we'll fart around with that for, excuse me, a day or two. I haven't even been going an hour and I'm exhausted. For anyone that was watching last week and got to experience the live meltdown of my CPU when I was trying to stream both stream and play, I should say, Hitman. Probably until I upgrade my system from that standpoint. Excuse me. We're not going to be playing super intensive games because, I mean, Minecraft's not that intensive of a game, and my CPU usage is hovering between like 25 and 40%. It's not great in terms of reliability. Let's see. I'm going to make all the paper. So, this. It's there. Alright, so can we... Alright, that's 49 books. So now I believe I need just wood as far as I know. Oh, right. Yep, so one raw mutton in there. Cooked down. Got there. So I'm gonna go wood. That's what we're kind of lacking mainly. Our wood resources. And no, you're a terrible trader. Okay. shit ton of sand. Mike's grand plan was to do a bunch of windows, and he still hasn't done that. I mean, yeah, okay, he put some windows around the entrance, but I kind of figured he would do something more with that, but clearly he hasn't. Can I not? Shelf. Where did I put the books? Shelf there. That, let's see. Oh, I need to figure out what a Channing did. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 diamonds and a book. Let's see. Yeah. Alright, so that one can. That was the. Let me just make an axe. I'll be polite and Aaron back. Here. And then harvest wood. I would to have an open slot so when sapling falls, I can just quick see that I've got one and easily put it back. And really, I think the main reason that we're short on wood is just Mike and I aren't keeping up on, you know, cutting down the trees once they grow. We're just kind of like, oh, whatever. You know, we're kind of taking the, and that way we're taking the on-demand approach to forestry, which isn't a great idea because suddenly if you need a ton of stuff, you're just excuse me, you're just SOL because you don't have anything, so you need to stop what you're doing and go harvest wood. Well, this is as good a time as any because with that just being a solo, we can kind of there's a little more leeway into what we can focus on. It's nice. Because I mean, really, like if it was Mike and I, we would be diamond hunting, or we would be, you know, looking for ender, or we would be doing basically anything other than forestry. Oh, I got I'll let you know a little secret though. I was going to try and start the stream off with some Forza Horizon stuff because that is a game that has kind of like, I don't want to say gone under the radar because it was, you know, it was an extremely popular game when it came out and it's still fairly popular. But in terms of like labor of love, I guess is the best best descriptor for it. Like, I mean, there's still that game's years old now, almost 2 years old, and like they're releasing new stuff still. They came out and said like this would be the first year since the Horizon series started that they're not gonna excuse me, they weren't making a new game. You know, so they were still going to support for another year, which is cool, but it's also like, it's kind of a, it's interesting, the mindset there, because whether you like them or not, racing games are great for new console launches, because it is super easy to show off, like, oh, you know, this is what it looked like on the old one, this is what it looks like now. You know, people know what cars look like, so it's not like, you know, pretty wide audience in terms of, you know, things that it's not another you know, it's not another port of Skyrim that, you know, a lot of people now don't know what the original Skyrim looked like because so many people have played it post it being ported to just about anything. So, you know, it's kind of hard to show off what a new console can do in a game like that, because you can just be like, oh, look at how good the graphics look. Well, you know, if the person that you're showing doesn't know what, you know, X, Y, or Z is supposed to look like, they don't necessarily get the same impact that you would get if somebody that knew what you were trying to show them was supposed to look like. So using racing games is great for that, because you're just like, well, look, this is, you know, look how much better the cars look. Look how much rounder the tires are. That's kind of, that aspect of it has kind of gone away, and you know, since PS3 era. But I mean, you know, you're looking at weather effects, and you're looking at, you know, kind of the stuff that everybody likes to show off as, like, you know, kind of gimmicky stuff in games, like, you know, the wet pavement meme is a thing, because it's, you know, it's a meme because it's a thing, right? People make tech demos to show off how reflective the water is, and you know, now that ray tracing is a thing, that's hopefully going to kind of come to an end, because you know, ray traced water, in theory, like, you know, it looks so real that it's kind of hard to improve on. So, you know, you're not, hopefully, right, we're not seeing a bunch of wet pavement stuff. But I have a feeling we still will, just because it's kind of in the cultural lexicon. But, yeah, I was surprised to see that, you know, the team at Turn 10 and Playground were so open in their kind of like admittance that the Motorsport series doesn't do that great for them. Which makes sense, because I mean, if you think about it, Sony's got their, um yeah, Sony's got Gran Turismo, which is very much a, yeah, it's a, hardcore is not the right word because it's not, it's not iRacing or Assetto Corsa, or R Factor, but kind of the Simcade, Sony's got Gran Turismo as their Simcade racer, and it's Sony's most popular game usually for a reason. A lot of people get it because it's kind of, racing games are easy. Like, you can turn on all the assists that you want and you can have a good time. Or, you can challenge yourself and take off the assists and try and drive a car with a gamepad, which you kind of have to make some limitations when you're doing that, because it's not a pedal and wheels, so kind of the dexterity and fidelity there is greatly reduced, just based on the input device that you have. It's not to say that playing a racing game on a computer is wrong. I don't believe that. Or playing a racing game on a gamepad is wrong, because it isn't. It's, so many people find it just easier and it's cheaper, right? I mean, even if you buy an Elite controller, it's what, like $150 or something like that. And I mean, yes, you can find cheap sets of pedals on like Amazon and stuff like that, but it's never, you never want to do that, because, like, in much the same way that an Elite controller is the kind of top of the line controller, if you want that experience of top of the line stuff, you can't hinder yourself by giving yourself equipment that doesn't have the things that you need. Like, my wheel and pedals is like a combined $800 or something like that, when you add in the servo brain, the pedals, the wheel itself, because my system is quick change. It's just like a screw-on thing, but so I can have different wheels for different applications. So it's fairly top for what Thrustmaster offers, but you would be hard pressed to get into a Fanatec system for less than $1,000, I think. Right around that amount. But the difference is, the wheel is gonna feel better. It's gonna feel more realistic. The pedals are gonna be better. It's gonna be much more of a realistic experience using a Fanatec system versus a Thrustmaster system. But I mean, you can. Ow. You can cheap out on a wheel and get like a Logitech G29 or 920 series wheel, and those normally come with pedals. And that's like $150. It's got force feedback. Like, it's got everything you need, but kind of at the cheapest amount. You can get cheaper wheels. I mean, you can get, you know, there's several Thrustmaster wheels out there that are cheap, like less than $100 on Amazon, but you know they're two pedals. They're, you know, they're plastic. They don't have force feedback. You know, the materials are generally of a lesser quality. Like I've got. Let's see, I can quick reach it. That one fell over. So I've got this one, which is like traditional wheel. This one, that's like you know, it's a car steering wheel basically, right? It's a circle. It's got the mark on it, so you know which way's dead center. It's got, you know, up and down shift, and kind of a assortment of, what is it, 6 buttons, a rotary. There's a, you know, 4-way. Down here is a rotary, kind of not like clicking rotary, but springy rotary, and it's a push as well. So you know, there's like this one. It's leather. It's really nice. Got it a couple weeks ago. Or this one, which is called their open wheel. So it's got all the. It normally has stickers on it that like light up, or not light up, accent the buttons. It's hard to see with my light, but each button has a color and number on it, and they would have things that show you. So it's got the, you know, it's all the same buttons in terms of like layout. So it's got the 3-place dial thing with the push button, but you know, it's much more of a kind of what you would consider a like formula style racing wheel. So you know, the Logitech wheels don't have the ability to change the wheel. It's just a wheel. So you kind of lose out on realism, if you will, by doing that. But I mean, if you like to drive and you know you don't necessarily care about like hardcore racing games or you know, getting into like, you know, if you don't want to get into iRacing or Assetto Corsa, but you do want to get into driving games, I would recommend the Logitech wheels, or even one of the cheaper Thrustmaster wheels, because you know it's got everything you need with it, and you know it kind of does a lot of the work for you, right? I think the Logitech ones have 3 pedals, so you can use a clutch. I can't confirm that, but a lot of the cheaper wheels only have 2 pedals, so you have brake and gas. So if you wanted to do clutch Actually, no, it must have a clutch because they have an add-on for shifter. You know, if you want to do kind of the banging gears when you're driving, you need something with 3 pedals, so you can use a clutch. There's a lot of guys on iRacing that, you know, they want it as realistic as possible, so they, you know, they've got their H pattern shifter and all that when they're running a NASCAR race. And that's great and all, but the problem that you run into is giving yourself that freedom of realism. You will quickly, maybe not super quickly, but you'll eventually make the mistake of like shifting into first instead of third, right? So you'll money shift, and you know, you could potentially end your race by doing that, or end a lot of people's races by doing that. Whereas, you know, if you're like me and you use paddles, it's kind of hard to money shift, you know, because you just grab the upshift paddle. You don't futz around with the clutch or anything like that, which, you know, okay, there's some guys that are screaming out, but my realism, when I do stuff like that, but, you know, it doesn't bother me. Like, you know, this is, it's the attitude that I have towards, like, a lot of kind of the unneeded discourse on the internet is, like, you know, for whatever reason, there are a significant portion of people in this world that feel like they need to make sure everybody knows how they feel. You know, like, and a lot of them, it's a kind of like they're the contrarian style. So, you know, something's always the worst thing they've ever seen. And, you know, if the general opinion of something is positive, they're going to be the Debbie Downers and stuff like that. But I mean, really, like, you know, my position basically since, you know, I got onto the internet in any sort of major capacity has always been like, you know, it's one of the reasons why I don't really use my Twitter account for posting my own stuff, because I just, you know, I'm of the opinion that a lot of people out there, you know, the people that I'm talking about, like the contrarians and stuff like that, like the people that no matter what, you know, you always see them in comment threads of, oh, you know, so and so a creator like this is, how could they do this? You know, okay, well, just go on to the, you know, my opinion is, right, like, if you don't like it, just move on to the next person, right? Like, it's the nice thing about the internet is, you know, on Twitch or on YouTube, right, you can just switch channels. You can, it's just like regular TV, you know, you're not burdened to anybody. Which is, you know, it's the freedom about it, right? Like, that's the best part about the internet is the freedom it allows you to explore, you know, certain, like, you know, people learned how to bake breads over the quarantine. I can guarantee you the vast majority of those people had no interest in baking before that. Right? They didn't, they didn't care. Probably, I don't know how much, but there was probably a decent population of those people that almost every meal that they had was either takeout or they were going out to eat. Um, so, they didn't really know how to cook anything. And, it was kind of the lockdowns and quarantines helped showcase, well, unfortunately it showcased both sides of the internet, but it really showcased it really showcased both sides. Um, the freedoms and things like that you can do. I've seen a lot of stories from from creators over the course of this that they like their numbers have just exploded because people have found something that they like and they found a community around something that they like. So that stuff's really cool. Like hearing about that stuff is amazing because you always hear about the downsides of the internet. You always hear about the bullying, the harassment, and things like that that definitely exist. And as a white male, I don't see a lot of that. I see some of it, but not a lot of it. But it's been an interesting 13 months to see kind of what makes people tick now. Like I don't know the best way to describe it. Like you could easily say that the well, and also like the quarantine has showcased the ability for the internet to kind of be a tool, right? It's not entertainment. It's a tool. You can use it for work, or you can use it for income. You can use it for like one of the interesting things that I saw come out of a lot of this was the explosion of OnlyFans, like that becoming a thing. Right, obviously it was a thing before, but the kind of the explosion and not only the number of people using it, but the the amounts you would hear of, oh, I started an OnlyFans and I made $50,000 in a month. you know, something crazy like that, like, you know, people were changing their lives by, you know, being, I don't know the right word, like open. You know, I don't really necessarily know the right word for that. If open is the right word, or what? What do I need? Wood on. I mean, you know, going back to the OnlyFans thing, like, yes, it's cool to see, you know, normal people that would have never probably even taken a look at modeling. Right? They tried it, right? And they posted on OnlyFans, and you know, people started to, you know, like what they were doing, and you know, it's been, as I say, it's been cool to see kind of the revolution, if you will, of that into what it's become today. I mean, you've got, you know, anybody and everybody can start an OnlyFans and build a community around it. It doesn't have to be, you know, I think kind of the instant response a lot of people have when they hear OnlyFans is that it has to be something sexual. But I mean, you know, I've heard of people kind of, I guess, like, I don't know, I don't have either of these, but I've heard that it's a better option over Patreon in terms of kind of the way it handles payments and you know, you can set it up as a pay-per-view instead of a monthly subscription, so, or not a pay-per-view, like a buy thing. So, you know, you're not, the creator isn't pressured into feeling like they need to get something out. And I mean, obviously, you know, you have the inevitable people that take it a little too far. And, you know, it goes from, you know, being a, people could go from having a kind of community that they're comfortable in to feeling, you know, feeling shitty about themselves because, you know, there's people that have expectations, I guess is the right word, when you're posting on OnlyFans. Like, you know, a lot of people assume that, oh, you're on OnlyFans, so it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be these not safe for work shoots and stuff like that, but you know, it doesn't have to be. And there are, rather unfortunately, you know, a lot of people that will harass and bully the creators that, you know, I subscribe to this and I'm not getting what I expected. You know, they will then try and, you know, figure out where the person lives, who they, um, who their friends are and things like that. There was the case late last year, I think it was, where the like a New York policewoman, I think, and she started an OnlyFans to help, kind of fill the gap, and made a shit ton of money. Well, then somebody that was subscribed to her felt like they were wronged and outed her to the police, and they found her family, and a lot of they did a lot of things that really just, it didn't sit well with a lot of people, if it, be truthful, because people don't like that when you're a lot of people are of the live and let live mentality, which is what I'm a part of. I'm very much a, hey, it doesn't bother me, you do you sort of thing. But I unfortunately have seen kind of the inverse of that, of the people that, as I say, they want to make sure everybody knows how they feel. And it's just sad to see that at times, because it's like, what are you really trying to get across? Like, are you trying to showcase that you're just an asshole, and you're not somebody that anybody would ever really want to talk to? Because if that's the case, then you're doing a good job. But it's definitely a annoying position to have to be in, dealing with that on a more than daily basis. Need to look up the enchantment table diagram. Arrange the vocal open face player. Life is required. Yep. Only 2 blocks away. Square of 15 and a 5x5 outline. Okay. Three high. So we're gonna have to bump this out. One bookshelf short, but like 2. Good. Is that not the right? I don't know how to make one. I want to figure out, is it this? Okay. So I don't need it. I mean, I won't be able to do a 30 right now anyway, so it's not a huge deal, but we can get Unbreaking 2 something. We're gonna need an anvil as well. Do the books. I know we're like 15 minutes short. Like the first 5 minutes or something like that, I had my mic muted. I'm gonna call it error just out of like a sheer tiredness. But we will be back next week. As far as I know, we'll be back to play something. I don't know what yet. And potentially more Minecraft. That will be up to Mike if he wants to continue this or what. So yeah, I'll see y'all next week.